My question to you, or my challenge to you, is to make sure that you're actually living your truth and you're not being manipulated into a truth that kind of aligns with some of your beliefs, but it's really not you. Make sure that you've done.
What's happening, y'all? This is Mike D with Black Fathers Now, where we're bringing the village to the brothers. Every couple of weeks, you can look forward to a quick inspirational message or a thought-provoking guest with knowledge and wisdom, all geared towards helping you be the best father that you can be. We're bringing the village to you. Now it's your turn to do something with what you learned. All right, y'all. Let's go.
What's going on, fellas? This is Mike D, Mr. Double Down on You, with another episode of Black Fathers Now. Now, dig this, man. I wanted to drop something on you, and this is going to be a very, very, very quick episode, but I wanted to drop something on you, and it's in regards to living your truth. Living your truth. Living your truth. You know, not long ago, I watched a documentary called The Social Dilemma, in which it talked about all the tactics being used on the back end by various, social media platforms to influence your thought process, influence your decision making, right? And what I came to the conclusion of is the fact that it's very hard for us to come up with our own conclusions that are without influence or bias due to tactics being used by some of these outside forces. So as you attempt to, or as you claim to live your truth, my question to you, or my challenge to you, is to make sure that you're actually living your truth and you're not being manipulated into a truth that kind of aligns with some of your beliefs, but it's really not you. Make sure that you've done the deep dive. Make sure that you've done the deep dive into who you are. Make sure you've taken the time to do the deep work, and doing so, outside of the realm of various social influences, social media and technology, because there are all these different tactics being utilized to influence your thought process. And what ends up happening, because we're so connected, because we're so plugged into everything, we lose sight of the fact that this might not be something that's coming internally from me. It could be something that spawns from influence from the outside. And then you got a question: is it really your truth? So again, I'm all about you living your truth. Literally live your truth. I mean, be your authentic self. But the question becomes, is it really your truth? And the only way for you to find out is for you to test it. And a lot of times that testing has to come outside of being connected to all of this stuff, because we're connected to this web, we're connected in all these different facets of our lives. But when you disconnect, does that truth still hold true? And if so, then maybe it is your truth, and keep the party going. But if you're disconnected and that truth is no longer valid, reconsider what you thought to be your truth, because the reality is it might not be your truth. All right. Hey, this is a quick episode, and I want you brothers specifically, everybody listening as well, but brothers specifically, to really do a deep dive into your truth, into who you are, to what you believe, to why you believe it, to what drives you. What are the things that, that trigger you? What are the things that excite you? You have to think about all of these things, but then go back into why, but do so in an environment in which you're not plugged in, because then you can get to the root of whether or not this is your truth, or whether this is some level of influence from some outside force. And there are some outside forces that have, noble intent, but there are some that don't. And we have to be mindful of it all. All right. Well, hey, as always, make sure to subscribe to Black Fathers Now. Make sure to like this episode and like this podcast on whatever platform you're listening to this on. It helps us to grow in the ranking or grow in the searchability. Because again, our goal is to be the #1 podcast for current and future Black fathers in the world. That's the goal. That's what we're doing. And we're slowly making impact and becoming that. So as always, y'all be blessed, well, and wise. And I'll holler at you. Peace.
Yo, fellas, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And always, always, always visit blackfathersnow.com, as well as follow Black Fathers Now on virtually every social media platform you can think of. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. Just follow us and engage with us, man. Look forward to hearing from you. And I guess until next time, I'll holler at you. Peace.